Hey guys, it's Michelle here, the founder and CEO of ihelpmoms.com, and I am so lucky that every week we come on live to interview the top experts in the nation on how to make motherhood easier, healthier, and happier. And today I am so excited to have the founder of Birth of a Goddess, how much do we love that name, with us, Jeniffer here. And she is not only a doula, lactation consultant, but really an expert in the transition into motherhood. So today, I wanted to talk about a topic that not a lot of people talk about, either because we don't want to be a nag on our husbands and we don't want to be a Debbie Downer on our friends, but I think it's something that we have got to talk about as empowered women. And I know I'm probably not the only one out there. I worked in professional sports for 10 years, very driven in my career. And then all of a sudden, I had a baby that I had to take care of. And I was like, wait, I really like working and I like using my brain, but like literally this human being depends on me to survive. So we're going to talk a little bit about the psychology of transitioning into motherhood at the same time not losing ourselves. So Jeniffer, I want to kick it off by talking today first about how do we set our expectation of what motherhood will look like for us.
First of all, thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here.
I'm so glad you're here.
So how do we set the expectation of motherhood? I think that we shouldn't have an expectation of motherhood. I think that there's this fallacy of perfection.
Yeah.
There's this idea of martyrdom. Whoever is the most miserable wins a prize.
Yeah.
And
how many of us have been to those mommy groups where everyone is like negative Nancy? And I'm like, I need to get out of here quickly. So I love what you're talking about.
Society portrays pregnancy as you're going to be miserable and you're going to hurt, and labor and delivery, miserable and it's going to hurt. And we're here to tell you that it's empowering and it's magical and it's beautiful and it's transformational. Yes.
That's the best word. Is it always easy? No. Is it always perfect? No. I've had good births, hard births, easy births. I've had them all. You've had 3 kids. But is it transformational, and can it be one of the most empowering events of our life? Absolutely.
The other thing that's really important is to learn from the experience.
Yeah.
Life isn't a series of learning experiences, so we have to constantly learn. We're growing. Just as the stages of pregnancy, we're constantly growing and changing.
Yeah.
We're constantly growing and changing. And the biggest mirror of that are your children.
Yeah.
They are constantly growing and changing. Why do we think that they're allowed to grow and change and we're not expected to grow and change?
Yeah.
We're constantly growing and changing just as they are.
Yeah.
So I think that we shouldn't have an expectation of who exactly we're going to be, but just have a perspective of taking life as joyful and learning
what
as
we're
we
good
go
at,
along.
right? Like what our strength is. You talked about
100%.
really shining a light, you know, for me in professional sports. What did I love doing? And continuing to shine a light on not the work part of it, but what it was that I enjoyed doing and continuing to do that.
100%. I think that the transition for a lot of moms can be very difficult because you go from perhaps a working woman to a stay-at-home mom, even if it is for just a period of time. And that can be really overwhelming because your identity is shifted and you might be doing something that you feel like you don't want to be doing. Find what you're good at. Maybe you were a career woman and that what you loved about it was you were a networker. So become a networker. Invite women over and host a support group. Find what you're good at and continue to look at the positive. And what you're not good at, find support for it. It's okay. And don't compare yourself to everyone else in a negative way. Find women that inspire you instead of just constantly looking at everybody with that negative attitude. I try to surround myself with women that are better than me, that I can learn from, that motivate me constantly.
And you know, I love this topic of not comparing ourselves. I think that's one of the most dangerous things that we can do. And honestly, I used to compare myself to moms a lot because I never really loved that baby stage. I couldn't breastfeed very well. It was a really difficult, tiring time for me, and I just never got in that flow. But now that my kids are a little bit older, this is my jam. Like, I love motherhood in this cycle.
Yes.
And so I do think one of the most vital things is to surround yourself with women who make you the best that you can be,
yes.
that make you want to be the best version of yourself, and that are encouraging you. Because if we spend time with the people that are negative, the people that are not loving life, that are not positive, oh boy, watch what happens to your life. So let's talk a little bit about the patience, the time through the maternity leave, maybe the mommy and me's, that transition. How do we find the patience to really find our tribe? Because that tribe is so important, and it absolutely reflects on our kids. So let's talk a little bit about how we find our tribe.
There are so many resources out there, and it's really, I feel like at different stages, I'm a different person.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I have to choose just one identity. I think that what makes us beautiful is to have different layers of myself. So, you know what? I can be a professional person, but I'm also a hippie mom. I'm also really granola. And I think that it's understanding that different times we're going to fit in with different people and not to be judgmental.
Yeah. I think I really learned that is to understand that the mom world, it always cycles back. Whether your kids are done with the mommy and me and they're going into preschool, you're going to see those mommies again. Whether you click with them or not, I think the king reminder, the queen reminder is to just be kind and understand we're all doing our best. And, you know, I think that that's such a beautiful reminder in finding your tribe, is that be accepting of the journey that we're all on. And what would be your number one advice that you would leave moms with? Because you've had 3 kids, you've given me amazing mentorship. And I would also say finding moms that are ahead of you in the cycle, one of the best things that I've ever done. You gave me amazing advice. So I want to hear what maybe your number one tip would be as we transition into motherhood.
My number one tip would be to surrender to the process. Really find your joy. Surrender to, it's going to be an ongoing changes. Really hold on to your joy.
Yeah.
Your kids are going to drive you crazy at times. They're going to be your biggest challenge, but they're also going to be your biggest teachers. Yeah. So learn every day, find gratitude every day, and don't hold on too tight to their schedules. Don't hold on too tight to anything, because everything's going to constantly change. And allow yourself growth.
Yeah.
I look at it as like a ball of energy, and allow yourself the expansion and light and joy to just grow and shine.
I love that. I think these are awesome tips from our doula and the founder of Birth of a Goddess to make sure that we don't set expectations, that we're gentle on ourselves, that we understand that motherhood is always changing, that we're always growing. Make sure that we don't compare ourselves to other moms, but lift moms up and understand that we may be going through that new mom process when we're exhausted and then back around again with our second child. So be gentle with each other as well, and making sure that we surround ourselves with women that lift us up, bring us joy, and help us be positive along this journey. So thanks for tuning in. If you're a mom that wants a positive journey in motherhood, we invite you to tune in every week with ihelpmoms.com TV. Bye-bye, guys.